Know that when it's Friday, it's all about good stuff in terms of music. We say hata kama kuna curfew and all these things, you need not to worry because you'll still enjoy the music, the best of it. And I keep saying that there's just something about this music that is played by a DJ. It's got nothing to do with sijui nini ama nini. You know, sometimes you can say I have all the mixes, I have internet, I have YouTube in my house, and therefore I can just play the kind of music that I want. We all agree that sometimes the DJ has this magic hands, and therefore that's what Fredia is always doing for you every Friday. So as always, we have Fredia who's giving you the best of that music, and he calls upon you to be part and parcel of the conversation by making sure that you tell us what music you'd want for him to play for you. He'll definitely do that. Hashtag Morning Cafe at Linda_Lela TV47KA22047 is the SMS short code. Drop that request and Fredia will be here to make sure that you're entertained. Remember, we are here all the way to 9 a.m. So there's still ample time for you to get all these goodies. We have a cake for you. Actually two, courtesy of Valentine's Cake House. So we have 2 vouchers for the people who will engage us this morning. Drop your comments. And I always insist that it's way better that you focus on our SMS short code. That is 22047. Why? Because when you forward this or when you tell us that you need a cake that is on social media, sometimes we try to get a hold of you. We're not able to get your number. And therefore, well, we end up eating the cake ourselves. That's not what it's meant for. It is meant for you. So make sure that you drop your comments on 22047. Tell us why we should give you that cake. It doesn't necessarily have to be your birthday. Could be somebody else's birthday. Could be their graduation party. You could just be, you know, celebrating this person for the good things that they've done for you. It is up to you. You just tell us why you need the cake. We will give you the cake. Something as simple as just give me the cake will warrant you that, you know, opportunity to get the voucher, courtesy of Valentine's Cake House. I keep saying, this is a good thing because they are, you know, we have like 20-something branches across the country, and therefore you don't necessarily have to be in Nairobi. Some of us will tell you that last week we had lots of goodies. We sent them as far as Mombasa, and so wherever it is that you are, you will get that goodie of that day. What's important though is that we also look at what is happening in the world of news, and I have 2 gentlemen who will help us decipher on some of the key stories that have been captured in the papers and generally have a conversation on the key topics that are of importance for us as we continue with the broadcast. My name is Linda Lela. It's always good to do this with you as I look forward to an incredible weekend ahead. Next week we'll be in Mombasa. We'll be having a Mombasa edition. It's going to be lovely, lovely, lovely. I'll tell you more about that as we continue with the broadcast. First, I introduce my guests. That is Kiplungat Dennis, who is seated right next to me. If we have a white shirt, that is, he's seated right next to me. And he's a political analyst who will help us decipher on some of the key stories that are of importance to us. And also, there's Josephat. Why am I getting a tongue twister on Josephat of all the names? Josephat Kamanya, good to have you this morning. Also a political analyst. And yes, these gentlemen are the ones who are going to take us through some of the key stories. So much is happening in the political scene. Indeed. We all thought that with COVID-19, maybe the politicians will shut down, lakini ni kama ndio wanaongea vizuri zaidi. 2022 is just around the corner, yes. And therefore we are all excited to see what we're going to do as a country. We know we had the conversation of the BBI. We don't even know whether we should be excited about BBI anymore. Though Baba says reggae is on, just that.
Yes. Well, good morning, Kenya. Thank you, Linda, for having us. And one, reggae is dead. You know, if
reggae is dead.
Seemingly.
Okay.
Well,
as far as we're concerned, as at now. Okay.
That is my opinion, because when you look at our constitution, the dispensation is that you cannot have constitutional changes a year into the main election.
Yeah.
And today is, what date is it today?
Today is on the 8th or 9th.
Yeah, so we are only a month to a year into elections. Okay. If we don't make any changes now, reggae is not only stopped, but dead.
Court of Appeal tells us what it is that they will have deliberated on, whether they'll uphold, that is the ruling of the High Court, or they will quash it on August.
Yes.
A little bit too late?
Too late. Okay. In my opinion.
Come to you, Kiplagat. Yes. What do you make of the conversations of reggae now that Baba says that reggae is on? Nobody can stop reggae. And true to it, we have never seen somebody stopping reggae though. Now reggae music, I don't know whether this one, yeah.
Yes, the reggae music Yeah, good morning. Yeah, thank you so much for having us. The reggae music that we have cannot be stopped. It's the only reggae that was sung by Bob Marley, the Wailers.
Okay.
But this
Those
reggae
cannot be stopped.
But this reggae that Baba is talking about, I really don't know which kind of reggae. But now we're waiting until the Court of Appeal decides if reggae is going to continue or not. Because now it's at the legal hands. Let's leave it that way. But according to me, politically almost dead. The reggae now is at ICU.
Oh, yeah.
Just waiting to see if miracles will happen, and that hospital is Court of Appeal.
No, we're talking about Right Honorable Raila Odinga, a staunch politician,
Indeed.
seasoned politician.
With all due respect.
The enigma,
Yes.
as they would call him.
Yeah.
What makes you think you would counter the political gimmicks of Right Honorable Raila Odinga?
You see, Raila Odinga is a heavyweight in politics.
indeed.
He's a heavyweight in politics.
Yes.
And nobody should underrate Raila.
The only card that he's not been able to
But now, you
achieve.
see, with the thing with the BBI, you see, it touches with the constitution of the Kenya. It touches with every Kenyan, you see. That is not only aligned to his political allies and fans, but this one, the constitution is that's something that is going to govern me and you, Linda. Anybody, as I said last time, from Mombasa to Kisumu, this constitution works with everybody that is inside the jurisdiction of Kenya, Kenyan boundaries. So on constitution matters, right now reggae is not running well. The battery is running low,
okay.
below 5%.
Could be running low based on the what it is that the court said.
Yes.
But looking at the bill itself, looking at what is entailed inside, the nitty-gritty details, do you suppose it's something that would have been good for the people of Kenya? I mean, we've trusted him with the conversation of liberation, multipartism, and he's been able to deliver. Why can't we trust him on this one?
First, let me echo his sentiments.
Yeah.
Yes, Baba is not somebody we can dismiss. Whenever you mention politics, you know, he's top ranking, and with all due respect, he has led a good fight when it comes to democracy and development of our politics. Fortunately now, as a country, you see, our changes that we need in politics, in the political arena, are no longer anchored on an individual. We have institutions, we have structures. It's not like before, when a presidential decree was enough to make sure you, Linda, you become non-existent in the political arena. Now, looking at the bill, there are details therein that would have been very nice bills for the Kenyans, especially for the economy, for the social justice, and bringing in the systems that would have fast-tracked development as we need it. People talk about dispensation of an increased percentage to the devolved government structures. But you see, the problem we have is not about resources, it's not about the systems, it's not about the structures. It is about the crop of leadership that have been entrusted even today. When you look at the Jubilee government, it's becoming very alarming, because day in, day out, you hear issues about failure on service delivery. We don't need BBI for that. You know,
we still can have these leaders having that goodwill to implement the same.
And that is what is lacking.
But now, wait a minute. BBI, no BBI or anything, we are headed to an election.
Correct.
Are there any hopes of getting new crop of leadership?
We have a litmus test in Kiambaa, the constituency I come from.
Oh, you hail from Kiambaa. All right, so let's wait and see. You are pro what?
Well, definitely, UDA, we are taking it. We are taking it.
What makes it? Okay, well, taking it is one thing, but delivering for the people is another. And we're excited about Kiambaa because it appears like it's a litmus test. Just like the likes of Msambweni, Kabuchari, and all that. It's a battle between the titans.
You see, we only have, let me tell you, Linda, we have the same monkeys in the forest.
Now that's the thing, a new crop of leadership.
You see, when he says that they are taking Kiambaa, I mean, I would like to really not concur with him. You know what? There's this guy in Kiambaa called Karerin Jama, and he knows him. And we cannot say that UDA has taken the day. No! Jubilee has also its strongholds. Considering the fact that UDA now is coming up, UDA is a new child, and Jubilee is that Kaga in the family is now old. He knows what is wrong and right for the people of Kenya, let's say. So when you say, listen, when you say that UDA is taking it by confidence, I would like not to concur with you with that.
Right.
Do not celebrate too early.
Do not celebrate
we are not celebrating.
Okay,
we are
all right. What makes you think that Kawanjiko is a sure bet, is a good deal for the people of Kiambaa?
Let me lay it down for you. and for our great viewers.
You know, I invited him here the other time.
Yes.
He did not show up. Karin Njama showed up.
Yes.
He sold his manifesto.
Correct.
If I were from Kiamba, probably I would have considered.
Yes.
But now, I am not...
No, he's going to show up on an invite.
Okay.
And I'm not speaking for him.
All right.
But this is what I want you to know. One, I was an aspirant.
Okay.
In the Jubilee nominations process.
Okay.
So, you know, the shambolic, because the nominations never happened.
So you're for UDA simply because you felt like Jubilee should change?
This is what I'm coming to now.
Okay.
This is what I'm coming to.
All right.
You see, we are we are living in very interesting times, and we need leaders that can lead people.
That's true.
Not politicians who are just talking about politics and voters. We also want people who are able to not just spearhead the development of a country, but also at the policy level, articulate issues accordingly. If a system that we are calling the Jubilee Party is not able to hold just free and fair and credible nomination process, how can we trust them to give us?
If they have failed, if Jubilee has failed, I think its members should be blamed.
Correct.
Are you not a member of Jubilee?
I'm a member of UDA.
But you used to be a member of Jubilee.
Actually,
so that means it failed because you people were not able to put your house in order.
I was a member of TNA before we formed.
Yes, you merged.
And this is what happened. Jubilee is currently, when you look at Kiamba, they came up with a boardroom candidate, this Karin Njama, who a person I know very well. You know, we come from the same ward.
Okay.
Okay. And now we have to look at what is happening. Jubilee Party, look at the leadership. It's collapsed. It's an empty house. Actually, I was one of the last few people who left, and I left the key at the gate. No, and I joined UDA.
We have the DP there still. Please.
No.
We have the Deputy President William.
He's the Deputy President of the country.
He at least appears to be the leader of UDA as far as we are concerned.
Correct.
And therefore, Jubilee is still in existence.
In government, the government, you have a Jubilee-led government. But what we are looking at when it comes to Kiamba, this is what I want my friend to know. You see, there is a vacuum in the political arena. There hasn't been mentorship of leadership. Look at the UDA, look at us, the new crop of leadership that is emerging in the country. And this is a statement you're getting across the country, not just Kiamba. Everywhere that Jubilee has lost, people are saying, we need new paradigm shift. We need new people who are able to listen to the people. And that's why you hear of a hustler movement, the hustler nation. It's not about people who are not employed. It's not about anything. It's about people who are able to come together with an ideology and say, this is what we want furthered. The reason I'm saying Kiamba is gone, my friend, I'm a voter. I'm a voter, and my vote is for one Kawanjiko.
All right.
Team Kamanya. Go online, you'll find Team Kamanya.
You all shifted
We are all shifted to UDA, me and my people. Now, what we are saying is very simple.
All right.
This is not just a litmus test. This is a population of the Kenyans speaking and
saying.
Know,
the matrix of our leadership, I'm sorry I'm cutting you short,
it's all right.
is interesting. That the ground, and I'll tell you for free, I've gone to Kiamba, and therefore at least I've spoken to a couple of people. This is what the ground thinks, that Karin Njama is a good person, but probably not in the right party. Maybe people are disappointed in how Jubilee has handled things, just like you have said, you are disappointed. Kawanjiko, probably not a good bet, but in the right party. Then how do we achieve a balance on this one?
I don't concur with that statement. Because what makes a person a good person? We have to differentiate. Charity, philanthropy, that is not leadership. If somebody is known for being all over the village, attending burials, attending mashakayas, attending weddings, and helping, people, we all pay school fees for the less fortunate. And we don't
make noise about it.
We don't make noise about it. Personally, I do that. I've been feeding people with my team during these COVID times.
You just made noise about it.
No, I'm saying, not before, not as a campaign tool.
Not as a campaign tool,
And you see, when some of these people do, like the person you mentioned, the Jubilee candidate, when they do this in my village, they feel entitled to become a member of parliament. And we are saying, no, they are characters we are looking for. They are traits we want. Who is surrounding you? The crop of leadership around Kawanjiko, led by our able deputy president. And then you look at all these members of parliament, Kimani Ichung'wah, Moses Kuria, Ndindi Nyoro, all of them, what are they saying?
That is the biggest fear.
Yes.
There's a difference between a nurturing of leadership and interference. And there's that fear that, in as much as maybe you would put, that is Kawanjiko, and he's able to sail through, or put Karin Njama, and he's able to sail through. There's a feeling that maybe it is not these individuals that will be leading the people, and maybe I'm coming to you. It is the parties that they hail from that will be leading the people. It is Moses Kuria that will be calling the shots in Kiambaa once, you know, Kawanjiku is able to clinch this seat. It is the likes of Amos, you know, Kimunya that will be will be calling the shots in Kiambaa the moment Kariri Njama is getting this. And speaking of Kariri Njama, it is not the first time that he's trying to find his way there. And even in the previous ones, he's performed well. You know, getting to number 2 is, you know, very well.
That was dismal performance.
Okay, all right, okay.
Let me
Come in, Dennis.
And this come down to constituency level and the people. You see, with the constituency, let us stop this sycophancy of singing a certain anthem like the Hustler movement or the other one, I don't know, Jubilee. You see, with constituency, we really need to pick the right people. We don't want people that are just sitting down, keeping quiet. They let their emblem sing for them. Like now, UDA, somebody just go and runs away throughout Kiambaa with songs, hustler, hustler, but doesn't talk. It doesn't tell the people his agendas. Let everybody be accountable to what is going to be or what he wants. Let me tell you, because now, if you look at Kariri Njama, I'm not just saying supporting him because I even don't know him personally, but I'm judging him according to what has happened before. How do we trust that this new runner, even the field of athletics, you need to first go round 1 lap, second lap you go to something like nomination, and then when you are taken to international level, you have been tested on the ground. Kariri Njama has tried. He has tried. I'm not saying Wanjiku is bad, but I'm saying let us stop the notion of sycophancy. Yes, and now the hustler movement is becoming a sycophancy thing. Somebody is going to vote for Kawanjiku because he's calling himself a hustler person. No. Somebody else is going to vote for Kariri Njama because he's of Jubilee. Let us stop that. Can you articulate that? Can you show us that Wanjiku is really the best person for Kiambaa?
I agree.
All right.
I want to inform my friend. Dennis, if you come to the ground, it's just unfortunate that he's not a voter in my constituency. I wish he were, because I would have been taking him round now to convince him and show him why and the how. Wanjiku is very articulate on the issues he wants to bring to our people. And we have all agreed, actually, as the crop of new leaders, we are backing him fully. And this is what I want to challenge my friends. Now, if you're talking about affiliation and friends, just compare the people who are surrounding Kawanjiku and the people who are surrounding this other candidate from Jubilee. I am well convinced that most Kenyans are happy to associate themselves with the likes of Kimani Ichung'wah, Moses Kuria, Ndindi Nyoro, not for any other reason, but because of their track record when it comes to development. Go to their constituencies. Let me remind you, Kiambaa is a cousin, if not a sister, to Westlands. Is the first constituency that borders Nairobi, but it has the greatest of potholes.
Thank you.
The dilapidated nature of our roads, my friend, is appalling. Look, come to our health centers. First, we have very few, and yet we are the bedroom of Nairobi. All this has been happening under the leadership of the Jubilee government. So it's not about the candidate of Jubilee per se, but it's also about what the party and what the government are not.
You know, you people are in Jubilee party, so why should we trust you that you're going to bring?
Because the development, the leadership at the top.
The development that you had, you did development under Jubilee.
None.
Yes. Now talk of Moses Kuria, talk of Rigathi, and his constituency. They all did that under the Jubilee government. Now what I want to know is why are you so accusing the Jubilee government? You see, I'm wondering, when you are there, as I had somebody saying at Mazishi was Juja, Sijui Kifo was Juja, Mazishi ni Kiambaa. Why are you
inviting him for the funeral? I'm inviting him for the funeral.
On the 15th.
I'll be there. I don't know if you're going to I don't know where I'm going to bury. I don't know where I'm going to bury. Because I'll be there.
I'll be watching.
I'm an independent mind thinker. But I don't flow on sycophancy. No. Wherever there is no movement, I tell you exactly there is no movement here.
And you know, sycophancy is one thing that is going to cost us as Kenyans. Why I'm saying this is because in Kiambaa, there are other leaders
Yes.
that are vying independently, that are vying under different parties that are not well known. I know we affiliate much into tribe and to the aspect of party and all that. It is unfortunate that probably there are very many of them that could be having good things for the people of Kiambaa.
Indeed.
But because sycophancy has clouded our minds, then we're not able to see these people. We're only seeing Jubilee, we're only seeing UDA.
My friend Willie is vying on an independent candidate.
No, Willie is in UDA, just in case
Yeah,
you did
he is.
not know.
We are supported. It's not secret.
Willie is not vying.
But come to the ballot, you find him. But yes, I agree.
No. I am telling you with so much confidence
Yes.
that Willie decided to support Kawanjiko.
So did I.
Why?
So did I with my
Why
people.
do you
Because
shelve your interests?
The same thing you've said, ideologies, principles, and interests of our people. At the end of the day, we can only have one person become the member of parliament for Kiambaa. And when we look at the people who are remaining now, because myself, I was edged out by the Jubilee symbolic nomination, which is fine. It's okay. How they choose to make their house and their bed, let them lay on it.
But the opening is free. You would have gone independent.
I would have, but then the timelines, the IEBC timelines were not correct. We are guided. There are guidelines when it comes to the electoral process. When we sat down and realized who are remaining, who are the people that you can vouch for? At the end of the day, you have to go for the people who are like-minded, who can further the agenda of our people. Us, we are not vying for any other reason. We are a frustrated lot in Kiambaa. The young people, we are saying, look at the track record of our MPs. We started with, almost all of them are the late Bio Koinange, Jenga Karume, Paul Koinange, and then there was Kamau Isharia. All these guys, they were old folks. There's nothing wrong with age if you can deliver. But the reason we are saying now we don't want that no more, because we have not had fair representation. Remember, the role of a member of parliament is nothing else than representation in the House of Parliament. Legislation, representation, and oversight. You
know what Mary Njeri says? She says, Linda, let Josephat know that this has got nothing to do with common mwananchi. It will be an election of proving a point.
We say it about a litmus test.
How do we trust?
Much
Now,
I agree. There is a national aspect to it. There is a national aspect.
How do we trust that you guys that are supporting now Wanjiko,
yes,
you see, if you are not able to gain the nomination ticket of Jubilee, you are the losers running to the other side.
There were no nominations. There were no nominations.
Yes,
that's the reality. You are the losers. Now
you did not lose.
What was so hard about supporting your own and saying it's all right, we all cannot be here together, and since we're very many of us, let's support this one of ours as opposed to switching this
who is our own now?
Initially, let me tell you, what were you thinking when first you thought of going and having a Jubilee ticket?
Because initially,
until now, you missed the ticket. Now you are running to UDA.
Yes.
You see, that hypocrisy is something that you don't want, especially in the constituency level and MCA level. Listen, my friend, that hypocrisy is something that you don't want. If you are rejected here, you are rejected because maybe you are a lame duck.
Let me tell
Listen, if you are rejected in this part, do not run to the opposition.
This is not my first time to vie. Let me tell you, you can only lose if you have gathered less votes than the person ahead of you.
Okay.
In Jubilee, there were no nominations. I sat down with Raphael Tuji and all those people, and they are just running a sham.
Were there nominations in UDA?
No, there was no need. There was no contest. Actually, Njuguna was just by himself.
He's someone who had to shelve their interest from PEP of Moses Kuria.
No, he's in Jubilee.
Now, you see, and that is it, Linda, what I'm talking. Look, Raymond now he has run to Jubilee, just like the way you ran from.
You see,
now I want to tell Kenyans, especially people at Kiambaa, are the people now going to bring us the difference. Please, let us not vote because of that hypocrisy and sycophancy thing.
Unfortunately,
because even if you see the Hustler Nation, there are no hustlers there.
Linda.
The Hustler Nation tag have been taken by people, by hyenas, by rich and already fed people. And ran away with the hustler tag. The real hustlers are not getting even anything from Hustler Nation. Let me tell you the truth.
For free.
Linda,
for free, man. For free, my friend.
Look at it this way.
So now I want to tell Kenyans that these people are lying to us.
Okay.
Because if you see Raymond running to Jubilee and then just running to UDA, you guys are the people confusing Kenyans. And this is at the constituency level. Yes. That is why the research is showing that every election period, almost 70% of the incumbent do not return to their seat because people vote at tunapiga suti. What is suti, my friend?
Let me enlighten you.
Let him reply.
Let me enlighten you.
Yes.
As we speak today, our president, who is the chairman and the lead of Jubilee Party, has been NASWAD.
By NASA.
By NASA.
NASA is not even there. NASA itself is NASWAD.
Exactly. But in principle, he is moving to a different political formation. And that is at the national level. And
what
this is the BAMBA.
Your people are also leaving you.
Exactly. So if my president left and I had the hint he was going to leave Jubilee, what was I going to stay there for?
You had the hint, really?
I mean.
Now you are playing politics.
No, I'm not playing politics. Okay. I'm informing you.
All right.
There are things that we know, there are things that we see. Let me tell you, my women rep in Kiambu.
That's true. Decided to.
She left after me.
Decided to follow you.
She just followed me. My friend here is the Kasarani constituency.
Kasarani constituency, I'm fine for Kasarani constituency. And I want to tell people right there that they should.
Okay, on a UDA ticket.
Do not judge. Do not
I am
judge.
watching. I'll be here.
Your words on my mind.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
You see, I want to say this here. You see now, Mchomba, previously, he had rent to. Your women rep
she was in Jubilee.
Now, from Jubilee back to
UDA. UDA is Jubilee still.
UDA is
so if I'm still home.
And if the president has not moved away from Jubilee, he has just looked for alliances.
No.
And that is, there is no problem with the alliances. If at an election period decide that my party is going to
this is double speak. You cannot say my president, who is the head of Jubilee, is looking for alliances by joining NASA. And then you accuse and say UDA is also Jubilee, and yet Kamanya joins UDA, and that is hypocrisy. What are we saying? What are we telling Kenyans?
All right, well, interesting. Let's look at Right Honorable Raila Odinga's conversation yesterday. Yes. And I know that is what we started with. And the aspect of NASA, now that you speak of it, he says, why I can't work with Ruto. That's an interesting one. And also he says he owes the principles of NASA nothing. Opposition leader accuses deputy president of baiting draft in government, saying he'd rather remain in the political cold rather than head a country infested with loads of corruption and charlatans. This corruption conversation, honestly.
No, that's a political statement. And I'll tell you why. We have agencies that fight corruption day and night.
That's true.
We have a government led by our able president and our able deputy president, who is the head of UDA, Ruto. And the Hustle Nation.
He has not declared that, at least.
Well, but we are fully behind him.
Okay.
We have championed him as our patron.
Chairman Gani?
UDA. Chairman UDA. So what I'm saying, this is a political statement, because if not just myself, but you or Dennis, let alone now Ruto, if we were guilty, found guilty, I mean, we have systems, we have structures. So let no one keep saying, oh, this guy is corrupt, this guy is a thief, Linda is this, Kamanya is that. No.
Baba is waiting. Did I call him Baba? Baba is waiting to get into power, into presidency, or whatever it is that will be there, so that he's able to deal with it. Hypocrisy of the highest level.
Yes. Now this come back again to the hypocrisy thing. You know, you cannot keep accusing somebody is the thief, and you cannot bring out the evidence. Bring out the evidence. Let the person be prosecuted, and we as Kenyans see that justice has been done. You see, now he is waiting to join which government, which is other than the one that he is in right now. Yeah. Now, with the corruption, I want to, you see, we have bodies, EACC, DPP, they are there. Take anybody that you think is corrupt to those.
That's true.
Yes. Yeah. In corruption, I don't want to talk very much about corruption, but when he says he is not going to work with Ruto, what did he say? Yeah, exactly. These are two big wigs. Now, you see, Ruto has developed himself to a certain level that we can compare him with Baba.
He actually disappointed him, because Baba said if Ruto wants to get to presidency, he might need to work with me at some point in time. And now he realized
Ruto already had worked for Baba last time.
Yes.
But I think to his own thinking is okay if he can work alone. You see, even the child grows, and when he grows in a lion den, there is this old lion, and the young ones had to beat the old ones to take over the den. And that is what happening now in the political arena, or with the only 3 political bigwigs. Wachana na wengine.
The only 3. Now
yeah, the only 3. We have Uhuru, Raila, and Ruto.
And one is rooted out automatically by the constitution.
Yes, one is rooted out automatically, but he wants to remain.
The other one we all know. Yeah, he's been a perennial loser. So we are not expecting anything different.
Okay.
So the only remaining candidate there, who is heading to the State House, our 5th president.
One day in politics, they say is life.
Yeah, it's like a year.
Jimmy Wanjigi is somewhere in the line coming.
Now we are talking. These are the people we want to contest against.
Okay.
The BAMBA worked with Ruto, they failed. That we agree, with all much due respect, and I'm not speaking for anyone, but my opinion also counts, remember.
It does.
What we are saying is, we are saying Jimmy Wanjigi is coming up, and I'm sure there will be a few others. We don't know where Peter Kenneth is, and there could be other people. Kabogo said yesterday he can also, he could be looking for a deputy, to have a deputy, and then he could also, he may run. We don't know.
So you realize that he's just mentioned a couple of people from Mount Kenya, and my question is this. My question is this. We then unanimously agree that for a moment, the DP has rented the people of Mount Kenya, just like Anne Waiguru would put it. And before he knows it, when somebody, a candidate, a formidable candidate from Mount Kenya crops up, then he might as well be told goodbye.
Let's agree on one thing. And this is what I like about Kenyans. And sometimes it baffles me. Yesterday you saw a president flagging off, and maybe you're going to look at that, flagging up our team going to present in the Olympics 2020. They didn't happen last year. And we were our team Kenya. No one was talking about tribe.
That's true.
No one was talking about these guys from Nyanza or Western, not from the mountain. We rallied behind them. But when it comes to politics, it is the only sector in the country where we tribalize the issues.
Right.
The one person I adore is the GOAT, Eliud Kipchoge. We were all glued to our TVs when I remember the Ineos.
Yeah.
Because everybody was behind him. It didn't matter where he came from. Even an amateur runner like me, I was there. My professional team that they also ran, the athletes, they were there. It didn't matter where we came from. But when it comes to politics, this is the only time you start hearing, Dennis, what is your second name? Linda, where are you from? So Kamanya, who are you? You want to know the DJ, where is he from? When he says he's vying, if you mention a name that is contrary to the population where you live in, you're almost
the numerous times I've been criminalized because I am Malela.
Yeah.
The numerous times.
You see. Now, when it comes to the mountain, the mountain has a greater population of voters. Out of the 19, almost a fair 10 million comes from that region. So it is only irrational. It is irrational to try and assume or wish them away. They come as a block. They might be dissected, which is fine. But it's a voting block that everybody who wishes to ascend to power, especially the presidency level, they want to affiliate. Ruto has done no crime. He's been selling himself, his principles, his values, and he's been able to win hearts of the likes of Kamanya, the likes of the other MPs, and even governors. So there's nothing wrong with that. Anybody who wants to vie, affiliate yourself with whoever you wish to, so long as they're Kenyans.
All right,
about vying. Now, let me talk about the Kabogo and Jimmy Wanjigi. Some people are good at pace setting. Let me use the running, because now I'm from the running community.
Okay.
Yes. Some people are good at pace setting,
yes.
You see, when Eliud Kipchoge was running, there are those people who could join. Could join for a short distance, then move out to keep Kipchoge at his speed, not to lose and not to exhaust himself, right? Jimmy Wanjigi, Kabogo, and all the rest, those are pace setters, right?
You think so?
Yes, those are pace setters. In fact, with Jimmy Wanjigi, you'd rather choose a person to support with him politically. Jimmy Wanjigi is good and best at supporting a political figure, but he's not good in running for the seat himself. He's not a leader.
The global community said so about Trump.
Yes.
Until Trump was Trump.
Until now, Trump was Trump, but
then Trump was out again.
Yes, but he went in for only one term. And before even that one term ended, everybody was now throwing stones to Trump. Even the former president had to come in like Obama and Bush and the rest to throw out Trump. Now we cannot just say that Jimmy Wanjigi cannot. In fact, you see, with presidency level, you need to have a certain political mileage. You need to, and that mileage, Jimmy Wanjigi doesn't have that mileage. Even Kabogo for presidency.
You see, the biggest problem is not that the mileage. The problem is what he just mentioned. The fact that Mount Kenya comes in as a huge block.
Yes,
has the numbers.
Yes,
and we all know that we affiliate to these people based on where they come from. That's the most unfortunate thing about our politics.
It's unfortunate, and that's why you see now these everybody is right on the presidency level is running to Mount Kenya for political support. That is the problem that is coming. You see, Mount Kenya has 8 million voters.
Yes.
That's why Ruto cannot sleep. Every morning he has to run to Mount Kenya. You see, with 8 million block voters, you are good to go. Yeah. But now the problem with Mount Kenya now, they don't have one figure that can talk to them. We saw yesterday coronation of the Lusaka. So, and somebody else is, Kabogo is coming out, Jimmy Wanjigi is coming out. Unfortunately, this time around, Mount Kenya is divided. Is divided.
In search of the 50+1.
Yes.
Really, we have like how many people in Mount Kenya today? 3 to 8. That's the figure.
Because we cannot say
the quest has just begun. Okay. Let's be honest in that sense. It's not fair to
It's too early to call.
Yeah, it's too early to call. Right. And it's not even fair to expect an entire 8 million block of votes to be commanded by one person. Those days are long gone. When somebody used to stand up and say, watu unaona mbele yangu wako nyuma yako. No, we are not for sale. We are looking for ideologies. We want people whom we can affiliate with at a level of not just development, but also representation and networking. Remember now, Kenya is not just a country. Kenya is the hub of Africa. And you see, when people ascend through the trajectory of leadership, we have these outgoing governors who are also interested. We have Mwangi wa Iria. He's dismissing Jimmy Wanjigi, but there are many other people who will come together. And this is how new formations are going to be formed. That's why everybody is leaving Jubilee, because you look, where is the future?
Is everybody leaving Jubilee?
You wait. Our president has been Naswad. And he's the lead of the brigade.
Okay.
So what we are saying, Mount Kenya, yes, we are not divided, but we are discussing. We are negotiating. Okay. We are planning.
You see what you bring to your people on the table. Okay, let's close that one. Briefly, let's rush to South Africa. Correct. And look at the politics there and look at the events there. Yes. The very first president to have, or former president to be arrested, to be jailed for that matter. Zuma starts life in jail after surrender. And Raila says when he takes the power, he will arrest people. That's what he says. Now, I'd like to see Africa, not even Kenya, heading the way South Africans have gone. You are not above the law. Anybody is not above the law. If Africa changes is a political way of living, the citizens of the larger Africa, we are going to go in the right direction, such that regardless of who you are, if you have failed, you have failed. Especially if you are corrupt, you need to be jailed. But now, unfortunately, they are still dictators in almost the 80% block of Africa. Unfortunately, we are not there. But if we can choose to go that direction, we could not be having people on daylight saying, oh, somebody is corrupt, another one is corrupt. No. Corruption could have ended, and we could have gone a bigger mileage. We have gone far. How much can we look at this as something to celebrate, or as something to emulate, or something to say, you know what, now Africa has woken up, and therefore even the leaders that are in power are going to be keen of how they lead the country, and because of such things? Because, I mean, Zuma has a couple of counts on his head. Correct. In regards to what it is that he did while he was at the top of the helm. We're talking about 15 months of maybe contempt of court or something of the sort, and even a possible eligibility of being released on parole. Is it a mind game?
I think it's a mind game, and I'm not just celebrating. Yeah. Because when you look, the Modabi, the prison where he's going, is in the eastern end, or in the Gauteng province. I've been there, but I was not serving. Okay.
You tell us the truth, my brother.
I was not serving a sentence. But I look at it this way. Julius Malema was very vocal. That's true. In trying to get Jacob Zuma out of presidency. Yes. And no one listened to him. The EFF, as much as they've gained ground, but they really try to speak out for the people and say, this is not right what our president is doing. He's violating constitutional orders, he's abusing his office. But no one listened. I don't believe in waiting till the end and trying to punish somebody for something they already did when we could have corrected that from the word go.
That's true.
And that's why I'm urging all Kenyans actually, because we are going into an election and a lot will be said. A lot of people will come out convincing you otherwise. Let's look at the crop of leadership we are getting into. Because South Africa, it's a fairly developed country. But if you look at the cost of living and the living standards and the average poor people, South Africa is doing worse than Kenya.
That's true.
The townships, you know,
So
most of us have been there. You go there and you're like, wow.
Right.
You know, it's like they're just two different
worlds apart.
Yeah. And Jacob Zuma, he's been a president for that. So I don't judge somebody simply because they have been in office and they have maintained law and order. That is important. But how have you impacted the lives of the people that you're leading? If we did not have many townships in South Africa, if we did not have a very high rate of not just unemployment. Remember the other day we had xenophobia.
Yeah.
He was still there.
It was rain, that's true. That's
you
true.
know. So what are we looking at? And even when you're trying to celebrate and say he's been jailed, going to jail is not the ultimate punishment. You know, I think the ultimate punishment ought to be not to let these people into office.
That's true.
So that we just let in at least a crop that has the interest of people at heart.
The buck stops with the voter.
But at least
you better vote wisely when it comes to
Kawanjiko is my wife's vote in this by-election.
All right.
At least they have started somewhere. You know, we have to start somewhere.
That's
we
true.
cannot just start at a day and say that just jailing is not enough. At least let them
They
be
have
jailed.
started. I mean, this is historic.
This
This is historic, but you know what I question? What I question is the
Yeah.
judicial systems.
Yeah.
Was it really free, fair, and uninfluenced?
You know,
You
if you bring that, then you open a Pandora's box, because across Africa, across the global fraternity, there's been this feeling that the courts have been interfered with hugely, that there's judicial activism, and that has been a question in the country. That is something that has been raised in the country, has been raised in Zimbabwe, has been raised in South Africa, has been raised in Ghana, has been raised across all the country. Judicial activism. Has the judiciary been captured?
The judiciary now, you see, there have been a lot of loopholes in the judiciary. And this is the arm of government that is supposed to be sealed. Unfortunately, you see, even in Kenya, yesterday we had the judge, the Attorney General said he was not supposed to be at the bench, and he was appointed by the president. They say the president did not follow the constitution. Now, the same with South Africa. I would like to say this. Now, at least they are showing that the judiciary is now starting to be firm again. The judiciary is now starting to use its powers. The same as Kenya, the judiciary now is starting at least to work as judiciary. At least they can say no to president's command. Yes, as per the constitution, we have seen judiciary making decisions that are not affiliated to any political wing. Yes.
Interesting times.
So they are starting somewhere, and I'd like to congratulate them. You see, awezi mgala muwe lakini. Yes, at least they are starting from somewhere.
Well, I agree that is a good start. And yes, the judicial system ought to be independent. My only worry that it's become a trend. It becomes a witch hunting. Like even what Baba is saying, I get into power, I'm going to deal with this person. We don't want that. If Ramaphosa is hitting back at Zuma for whatever reason, then that is not fair. But if it just there was enough evidence, it was genuinely found guilty, let him
let it be so. That's true, that's true. And this one on the People Daily that speaks of audit that paints a bleak future for parastatals of the 18 state corporations targeted in inspection. Only 4 were found to be profitable. At this point, we've been talking about, leasing. We've been talking about, looking at these entities that are government to be, privatized and all that, because they're not performing well, because they're not doing well. And a Treasury audit gives grim view of parastatals. I mean, we honestly cannot pride in our parastatals anymore.
We cannot. Actually, I am very disturbed because the normal Kenyan, yourself and I, we pay our bills. You pay your Kenya power bill, you pay your water bill. Okay, we don't have phone bills anymore. Yet, the same parastatals are going to declare a loss.
That's true.
And they charge you 100% and you pay, because if you don't, there is disconnection and all that. So where does the money go? For me, I think the buck stops with the management. It stops with the management. Because they collect funds, there is no accountability. Like where you can say the auditing was proper and square. There is a lot of loopholes and questioning that happens. Now, I look at it this way. Privatization might be the way to go. You know, if you need to have efficient service delivered, because the government is there to serve the people. Make sure we get our services, not just on time, but quality services. So I think even we should start with the Ministry of Health, per se. Because I keep asking myself, how is it? Look at our schools and our hospitals. The private, they are well equipped.
It's true. They're doing
Everybody is going
Everyone
private.
runs to that direction. Yeah.
And we are neglecting our public facilities. And yet we are taxpayers, and every day there's an inflation when it comes to tax. They add this, exercise duty, VAT. Where does the money go? But then
I've been to Gasharage Primary School.
Yes.
And the secondary school too. That is in Kiamba.
Yeah.
I really hope the leadership can do something. I'm not saying it is that badly off,
But it is.
But there has to be something that needs to be done. And you know what? As members of parliament, now that you have been aspirants, education squarely lies in your docket.
Correct.
Yes, education squarely lies in your docket as a member of parliament. That again comes up to people when choosing the leaders. They'd rather choose a leader that they at least feel this one is going to come and do us changes under our constituency level. You see, parastatals has become a failure because now they need to privatize. If we need not privatizing, because some parastatals are heavier, they cannot be private, like the public sector, at least make it 50-50. They share shares with private and the public. Yeah, at least for accountability.
And how manageable is that, honestly?
That can be manageable. You know, when you saw that, when you know, in your department, at least that will be like departmental, because you know, in my department I need to work so that we can achieve this. And the public part knows that this is our department, we need to work to achieve this. Because when you leave it to one person, we've seen all over, and since we gain independent, you've seen parastatals falling, Mumias has gone down, so at least now they can at least make some 50-50 shares. So at least so that they can be accountability. They are paying taxes daily. Daily we pay taxes. I
mean, we've seen the CS a couple of times, awarding them more just to keep them afloat. And actually, this has been, you know, intervention programs. In last month's budget, Treasury CS Ukuri Atani boosted spending on infrastructure projects like roads and allocated cash to economic intervention programs that offers manual. We have seen the likes of Utali getting a boost from government. And I mean, this has gotten the government to those points where they want to raise the debt ceiling to around 9 trillion, simply because you need to keep these entities afloat.
I see, and the government again is doing a wrong thing. You need they all invest on projects that are not they don't return back as fast as you can. And why are they doing that? The people that are there are trying to invest on projects that cannot work as fast as possible. Why? Because they are looting.
Our major challenge, and this is my take on the matter. Yes, we have very well set up structures. The intention is there. The need for the services is there. And actually the resources are there, because what we don't have, we are able to borrow. To qualify to borrow is also, it's very telling that our economy is growing. But the challenge we face as a nation, as a country, and this is why I want to call on all the leaders, the CES, the PS, the president, the whole leadership of our country. Let us be people-oriented. Because we borrow money, we plan for it, but 30% goes into analysis.
Exactly.
You know, the money that actually goes to the work that is supposed to be done is merely 40%. So the efficiency, what the finances were intended for, it is not yet fully achieved. The other thing is, you know, we mentioned about corruption. When a head of state confesses that we are losing 2 billion every day, for me, I lose hope.
That's true.
It's unfortunate, because
it is unfortunate.
You are the topmost person you have entrusted.
You acknowledge that there is a problem.
Yes. So what can I do?
You have the machinery to bring a solution, but
we're supposed to report to you, and you're reporting to us now.
And you're giving us bad news for that.
And we've been upping the borrowing power. We're supposed to run to you and
tell you now this is what is happening.
We've been upping the borrowing power every day. There is no way to up it.
That brings me to this one on IMF, where thousands of state jobs are to go in cleanup. And cleanup then speaks of a scenario where IMF says if we have to loan you this amount of money, then we need this and this and that fixed in your country. We had the global funds the other day say if we have to give you these grants, then you have to give us answers as to the Kemsa scandal. It appears as though they have the dire need of understanding more of us, of fixing our country more than we do.
Exactly. Which is my fear. The IMF community have been giving us funds, and we cannot account for what we have done with the funds. Just like the way the ARV drugs, you said that if we have to offer this, then we need to manage. So there is a big problem such that even our neighbors can see that there is a big problem in our services in Kenya, you see. So at least let's change the leadership of this country. That is the only thing that we can do for now to survive.
And these international organizations, they do well. Sometimes they mean well, not always. And we are happy to network.
Yeah, that's true.
We mean with any other like-minded organization or country. International relations are very important for any country to develop. My concern is that the more we get into their debt,
the more that we are trapped
the more they start enforcing controls. And that becomes very risky.
That's true.
Because now the state machinery, it will no longer be ours. You remember we used to have some threats a year or so ago that China is coming to take over the Mombasa port. Now we don't want IMF saying we must fire Linda, we must fire Kamanya, you must hire Dennis because he's the person involved for no. We'd like to still have our independence, our autonomy. Let us borrow to the capacity that we're able to pay. But also let it be our duty.
Right.
That as a government, once we borrow money, purposed for this project, it goes there and our citizens benefit. Because at the end of the day, we pay this money. Today, you know you owe a debt. So why not get the service that the money was borrowed for?
That's true.
So that then we can also try to walk away from this external interference.
Or as well, even when we're going for the debt, we're able to, as well negotiate and say that this is what we can offer, this is what we're looking for. It will not be based on what it is that you're giving as ultimatums or conditions. Anyway, Bijiwe car driver missing. We all know that the security expert, Bijiwe, has been missing for quite a while now. His is not the only story. We have had cases of abductions in the country. Kasarani, there was one case there. I'm glad that this mama was able to get her daughter or the child back. I mean, aren't we worried, or shouldn't we be a worried lot?
Right now, I want to believe that the security sector are doing something. Let us not worry until they give us an alarm. The DCI and all the entire fraternity of security, NIS, and all the rest. Now, but the thing is, we are going now in a wrong direction. You see, if you see what have been happening even in the police force, there must be something. I don't know if it is only the way they are training these people. They are putting so much of physical effort instead of mental assistance. I don't know, but this one is a very big problem. Now we are heading to a place that if it continues this way for another 2 or 3 months, we really need to get worried. It will reach a point where you hear that, like in Hawaii, the president was found at his home and killed. You see, that's so bad. And we as Kenyans, we would like to tell in fact, the CS of security and the rest, the Kinamtiambai, let us not just use words. Don't just threaten. Bring the elites to the ground. Bring the elites to the ground. Let them not sit at the office and many things happen on the ground.
Sure.
Bring them to the ground. Give them strict commands to work. They have neglected their forces. You see, at the ground, they have left them. Now, they feel like there's not that leadership. In fact, there's not that strong command in the police force now. And that's why you feel like there are very many loopholes. And that is bad for a country. Sure. I mean, somebody is messing in his work, especially at the top rank level. Right? But I'm not saying they are that bad. No, but if it continues that way, we are going to have a...
in Swahili they say that nazibovu warabu nzima. That is to say that in a basket full of potatoes, kama kuna moja ambayo is rotten, inaharibu hizo zote.
I look at our security personnel. And I think one thing we don't appreciate very much is that they are human beings. They have needs.
Yes, true.
They have emotional needs, psychological needs. They have needs. They're human beings. Just like you and I. Just the job they do, just that they are policemen. They're security agencies at whatever level. Now, when I look at the training and the much I know about it, and I vis-a-vis the expectation and the fear, I think there's a disconnect.
Yes.
There's a disconnect.
That's true.
Either maybe it begins also at the ratio of work. If one cop is manning 10,000 people, perhaps that is too much. We need to revise and revisit. That's the same thing we've done with our education system.
Yeah.
Because we cannot keep having issues within the same fraternity, of our police force. And if you look at it, the trend is the same. Now we are all leaning towards saying these are mental health concerns. Are these damages or issues that are being developed along the line of work? Or perhaps at the recruitment level, some things are overlooked. Do we look for the wrong things, for the long traits, for the long skills, for the longest list you see? Does not involve anything mental.
That's true.
It's about your physique. How tall are you? How is your dental formula? And
so there's something that is not working in that.
There's a disconnect. So we need to harmonize that system from recruitment, training, and also deployment.
And again, you see, you have the
monitoring, like any other project. You have to keep doing
monitoring,
spot on monitoring. What are the needs of our police force? I feel for them, because we talk about the housing project, which is a very noble project, because every Kenyan needs to have decent housing. But the people whom I feel are most neglected is our police force. And in any profession, there are three things you need: sleep, food, and rest.
That's true.
If our police personnel do not have adequate accommodation, their performance is going to be dismal. Some of the tantrums we see out here when they're handling
are triggered.
They're triggered by that. And also the basic pay. I think they are the lowest, the bottom tier of pay. So there are some things we need to look at. And I hope that they are listening and they'll be able to look into that.
We all hope so. We all hope so.
But then we hope he'll be found
That's true.
alive and well.
That's true.
Because he has a family, he has relatives, and he's a Kenyan.
And
we need his vote come 2022.
Their institution in police force, maybe I think again it's that something of leadership, because they are an institution that looks into the welfare of the police. We have the welfare police institution, so they are not working. They are not working. They are not doing their right work. They are not checking the police. They are just assuming because you are police, you are good to go. You can cope up with any condition, and that's why they reach elastic limit very fast and they do things. You see, they are the ones that are supposed to give us security, but they are using the arms, even the arms. You see the lady that took out the two gentlemen. It's so unfortunate. So those institutions that are aligned to checking the welfare of the any force, I think they need to work. They really need to work. They have a big work. They have left their work since the time they are initiated into the services.
And of course, as you speak on Caroline Kangogo, the search is still on. And we wait to see what then will be deliberated over time, and what she will give as reason as to why these acts were heinously conducted by her.
It's sad, and this one works to everybody. When any relationship reaches elastic limit, please just leave. Just live happily, live alive.
Because have you ever been heartbroken before?
Yes, I've been heartbroken.
You just cannot live happily. You just cannot live happily.
You need to live. You need to live. Lazima ukae ngumu, my friend. Utakaa ngumu because you have a life to live. You see, with Kangogo now, she has children who will take care of them. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. As much as anybody needs relationship, do not be selfish to yourself. You have brought people to this world. Look at them. It is you. The children didn't request to come, but you decided to get the children. You have a family. So now, make sure you don't be selfish. If a relationship is getting exotic, just leave. Because nobody, and I want to tell young men there. Let me say this. I want to tell young men there. Anybody that you got has been in a previous relationship. I think if we look at those people, if nobody marries this first love,
that's
there are very few, 1% of out of 100%.
You move.
So ulipata mtu ashajua kila kitu, my friend. Wewe unauana ya nini? Enda utafute mwingine.
Yes, just right. You see, some of these things, sometimes there is a different way of looking at them. Passion is very moving. Passion is very.
You can't explain it. Honestly.
You cannot, and that's why you see even in law, some of these crimes, they are called crimes of passion, because it is understood very well by law. We are human beings. We get elated, emotions run high, and all those things. And also remember, not all of us who are able to manage the different phases of life that we go through. Part of it is relations that will go sour, that will go south, that will work out. Part of it is rejection. Part of we don't know what transpired. So I wouldn't want to cast a blanket statement over the issue, but I just hope that we can start having less and less.
I still insist on
that are related with love. Remember, if it's about relations, you're talking about love. They are all found on love. But I just hope we can stop having deaths that are related to love.
All right. Okay, we close that one. And briefly, I don't know whether we need to touch much on this, but creditors go after Saiton over billions. This has been captured on the front page of the Standard newspaper and equally on the Daily Nation. We cannot delve much on that. Hilary Ngweno, tributes are still trickling in for the fallen media hero. May his soul rest in eternal peace. A story captured on page 2, 3, 18. We all acknowledge his contribution to the growth of course, the industry where it is, and therefore it is indeed a character that is worth celebrating. Front page of the Daily Nation. Kiraito Murungi, Jubilee is a horror story.
He just confirmed.
I just confirmed what you said. For a moment, I was like, do I read this one or not?
We know. When we know, we know.
Okay, well, so I don't think we even say much about that. The front page, the biggest story is on this one. President Uhuru Kenyatta says, no, I have not changed that one. Oh, the Daily Nation, here we are. Yes, Uhuru moves to stop NASA fallout instead of stopping Jubilee fallout. That's an interesting one. The principles are there.
It's funny with politics.
Yes.
People work according to their interest. Now, Uhuru's interest has changed. That's why he's running to stop NASA from falling instead of looking at his own house. His own house has already fallen.
Why does it become a crime?
Nyumba wenyewe na yako yenyewe inachomeka.
Why does it become a crime when we do the same as Kiambaa people?
No, you started it. Wait a minute. Oh, as Kiambaa people. I thought you wanted to say as UDA. UDA started this. And therefore maybe the president said, well, I mean, everyone is living. What am I supposed to do?
Think if the
Go and find other people.
If your dad today says, Linda, we are moving, what say do you have?
You move together with him.
You move together. If not, so you go and rent out your own cubicle somewhere. We have found one, UDA. That is our new home.
Okay, all the best. All the best is all I can say.
Thank you.
And now that we've not touched much, okay, well, turn yourself in. Family asks fugitive. I think that has been a conversation that has been there. We hope that she does. Ruto's new strategy to beat the system. Just how is he going to beat the system anyway? This dynasty talk. This bottoms-up approach, that just how different is it from the trickling down economy?
It's very different, and I'll tell you how we are going to make the next government, led by our able deputy president. Today, here in Nairobi, every third Kenyan you meet is no longer from the mountain. Okay, we become a very cosmopolitan country all over. Actually, go to any county, you pick any 10 people. People have integrated. Either through business or marriage or just whatever other social factors are there. Now, the one common factor we have is poverty and need for a decent livelihood. Not just for ourselves, but for our children. And this is what the Hustler Nation is talking about. This is what they are saying. Now, let's overlook the other issues that have been used previously to politically divide us, where we say, Kamanya is from this end, just Dennis, Linda, and all these other people are from this, and so you shouldn't be a president. He's saying, can we have a narrative that speaks about the livelihood of us as a Kenyan people? And that's the narrative we are talking about.
That's true.
And that's what he's selling, and that's what we are agreeing on. If you give me 1,000 now, and I give you 1,000, and he gives us 1,000, there's no difference. The currency is the same. That is what affects our livelihood, the economy of the country.
All right.
I have faith he can deliver on that.
We thank God now, Deputy President has been saved. And now, in this way, he's looking at this bottom-up economy. I don't know why he couldn't initiate it in the first term.
Yes.
I don't know why. Now he's good. He's looking at the normal Mwananchi and saying, no, we need to look at you. But I'm wondering, where was he in the first term? Why did he let the poverty level reach where it is now? So that he comes back and say, now we need to save you from your poverty. Don't push me to poverty and come and pull me back. That's reverse psychology.
The answer is obvious. Deputy President has never been the president of Kenya.
He has never been the president, but he is the co-driver. Just like a rally. Just like a rally.
Who's on the steering wheel?
Yes.
He's the president.
I'm not saying bottom up is okay, bottom up is right. Correct. But that I said we need the right people going to initiate it. Let it not be a notion of winning their president. So who is your
I'm meant to understand that there's a difference between a deputy president and a vice president.
Thank you very much. The deputy president is constitutionally
elected alongside
the president.
Yes. While the constitution does not give him so much of duties and all that.
I agree.
But we also acknowledge that he's part and parcel of the presidency.
First of all, I agree. The failures and the successes of Jubilee are shared by the president and the deputy president. Yeah. But let's be realistic.
Yes.
Let's not lie to ourselves or the Kenyans. We have a general election that is coming.
Yes.
August 2022.
Yes.
A year from now, a month away from July next year. We must have a president because there is never vacuum in power. So we are looking at the crop of leadership and characters that have presented themselves for the presidency. Deputy President William Ruto ranks #1. He agrees. Actually, he says he's yet to see another serious contender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now there's Raila Amolo Odinga, my friend.
Yes, he's there, but we all know. We all know.
Oh, okay. Is that brand new?
And he has started talking by the way. Now let me tell you, Raila Amolo Odinga started talking of Mama Mboga and everybody else. So now
that is going to be an undoing to him,
Yes, you see now everybody is entitled to his opinion, right? Okay. And the opinion of Hustler notion is not only entangled or tied to the deputy president. So even Raila can come and say, as we can use this bottom-up economy.
Linda, I'm in agreement. So, what I'm saying to these people who are anti-hustler nation for now.
I'm not anti. I'm an independent thinker. I'm not anti-hustler nation. No, I'm not.
They'll be joining us. But what I'm saying to them is, it's fine. You do not agree with our bottom-up approach. You do not agree with our hustler movement. What is the alternative? Come out and tell Kenyans, don't go for William Ruto, don't go for the hustler narrative because we are giving you this option. You cannot keep on shouting at our narrative, at our ideology, and saying, no, that is not good.
What
option are you giving Kenyans? And that's the question they're not able to answer.
It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. All right, gentlemen, unfortunately time is out of our side, but I'm glad that we've had really healthy conversations here that, of course, calls upon the common Mwananchi, the voter, to always make a wise decision when they're picking up these leaders. It shouldn't be about the tribe. It shouldn't be about this is my kingsman. It shouldn't be about, you hail from the same place that I hail, or party affiliation. It is ideologies, ideologies, ideologies. There's this one person who said, you can't, the only foolish thing about people is that they always keep going to the same people who put them in trouble for solutions. How possible are we able to get this?
I told you.
Food for thought.
I told you we have the same monkeys. You see, at least let us change the forest. The monkeys the previous monkeys are the same monkeys that are coming here to change their thoughts. And the people really need to think now. Really need to
think
outside the box. Let us not fall in an euphoria and then just vote for that.
People get Janice.
This is what I would want to let them know as you wind up. There's a lady who said during the slavery in the United States, she said, I would have freed more slaves if only they knew they were slaves.
They were slaves, that's true. wisdom there. Kiplagat Dennis,
yes.
Political analyst, and we also have heard this morning Josephat Kamanya, political analyst. Asante sana.
Yes,
all the best. We're watching.
Thank you so much, and don't forget to tell the people of Kasarani I love them so much.
No, don't just love them, just tell them that you're going to
love them so much, and they should love me the way I love them, and the way God loves us, and vote for me come 2022. I'm an independent thinker.
This is what we're saying. For now, the focus is Kawanjiko. Kawanjiko on 15. Yes. Kiambaa people, come out, resist Jubilee, let's vote for Kawanjiko.
It's a feel-good Friday. Let's leave politics for a moment. Let's get to the dancing moves. We'll be having dancers coming into the studio this morning. Remember, there's a cake for you, courtesy of Valentine's Cake House. So drop us that comment and tell us why it is that you're the person who should be having this cake this morning. 22047 is the SMS short code. I'll be sampling that, of course, as we continue with the broadcast. Importantly, tell Freddie what music you'd want them to play for you, and we'll definitely make sure that you get the best of this. We take a short break. We come back and enjoy more of Feel Good Friday.
Why crocodile inaweza tokea juu. Hiyo sijakula hata unataka nikufe kabla ni.
I don't like it. I don't. Miss Kai na hipo ikitokelezea ivuruche simu yangu.
No, ni sawa. Those who know me will tell you I'm not a lover of large volumes of water.
But for you, we rove the different parts of the country and beyond just to make sure that we bring you the experience. We educate you, we entertain you, and we inform you.
That it's not political and it can do something.
As we sail the boat of Morning Cafe to enlighten you, entertain you, and inform you every Monday to Friday, only on TV47.
Woo. Construction can be quite a task, but how do you move from finding your piece of land, sourcing the right materials, getting the right labor force to put up your building? Or better yet, how do you source for a building that's already built?
Just a small size of land can suit just a big maisonette because you are going high.
How do you ensure you get the right finishes to bring out the aesthetic value of your property and make it not only look good, but also feel good?
The buyers in this area are the buyers who are able to pay cash.
Well, we have it right here on The Realtor on TV47, where we demystify building right here in Kenya and analyze the property industry for you to take advantage when acquiring your next piece of property.
Every February, we hear men joking about going to a men's conference on Valentine's Day. We laugh about it, the lucky ones end up having a decent Valentine's Day, and we move on. But what we do not know is that men actually do meet up. Men do sit down and have conversations about things that affect their day-to-day life.
Let me ask, does money make the man?
Give them the gifts, shower them with everything you want to shower them with, but keep your money to yourself.
I, for one, have always been curious as to what goes on in a man's mind, specifically an alpha male's mind.
Adam, yule kwa Biblia anasema ni mtu wa kwanza duniani. Wewe unadhani kama angekuwa hana yale matunda